gentlemen, family and friends, thank you for joining us for this week's episode of Inside the Music, brought to you by MovemRadio.com and Three Farrows Productions. I am your host, the big homie, TC Caldwell, BKA Storm E. Weathers, with my brothers from the West, KC Cousin and Don, DC DaCosta. This episode, our guest is the beautiful Jennie Tracy, Houston, Texas, singer, songwriter, record producer, and guess what? She might tell us a little something about the California Raisins. Stay tuned.
Okay, thanks, TC. Don, look who we have here.
Oh, it's a friend of mine.
Uh-oh.
That's the how can I put this? The iconic. Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
From the Bay Area.
From the Bay Area.
Miss
Hall of Famer.
Jennie Tracy.
Hey guys, how are you?
What's happening, Jennie? How you doing, babe?
I'm doing wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. How about you guys?
Oh, great. It's such a pleasure for me personally to meet you. You know, people can be in the music industry their entire lives and never meet somebody that they admire, you know.
Oh, thank you.
And you guys set such a precedence back in the day. It's just incredible.
Yeah, I never really think about it until somebody asks me, or, you know, you kind of reminisce once in a while and you go, and then it's just great memories for me, you know, some of the things.
Well, I plan on bringing up a lot of them
Okay.
because we're going to talk about, when it comes around, we're going to talk about Mr. Fuqua.
Okay.
And I have a special thing that I'm going to throw in. This is for all the old heads who may remember. This is something you had a lot to do with. We are going to, or I'm going to bring up, and we are going to talk about the California Raisins.
Oh my goodness.
And a lot of people are going to go, what the hell are they talking about the California Raisins for? But when we get into it, they will find out exactly why. That is going to be a topic of conversation with us.
Okay, that's fantastic.
So let's start it off by you telling everybody what it was that got you started into singing.
Well, you know, in high school, I used to play for some of the choir or some of the groups there, you know. And so with that being said, there was a radio station, I think it was KYNO, and one of the jocks there knew that I played piano. So he asked me would I come and play for him. He was gonna try to break this record called the Drumathon. And a lot of people were there. And so I was playing with him. He broke the record. I played 69 hours with him, you know. And so then I started going to a lot of the parties that they were giving. And I met some incredible singers. They would give concerts as well. And so there was a guy that saw me there named Art Tyler. And he was a drummer, great drummer. And he had a group, he had a band. And he asked me, would I come and, you know, join the group? And I said, I don't know anything about being in a band, you know, but, you know, I just play for luncheons and things like that. So one night, Hillard Street was one of the members of the band. He got sick. So Art came by my house and asked me would I go, that he really needed me. And I said, well, what am I gonna do? He said, well, just play what you know and we'll follow. That's how good they were, right? So I did, you know, I played Retha and I played Etta James and, you know, all the things that I knew, and they followed me. And the owner of the club said, you know, I really like her. So they were on like 2 weeks notice to leave the club. And he says, I'll extend your stay if you keep her. And we were there like 2 or 3 years, you know.
So it was really extended, huh?
Yeah, it was really extended, you know. And then I left and went to Arizona and I hated it. I went to play there. It was so hot. I couldn't stand it. And the band that I was with was great. They were great guys. I just didn't like the desert, you know. It was just so hot there. But that's how I, you know, got into it. And I said, wow, this is wonderful. And I loved it.
Well, you got a chance to do music with a lot of extraordinary, well-known people. And the funny thing was, I knew your voice, but I didn't know you.
Yeah.
I did not know who you were. Now, I had heard the voice on a lot of tracks with a lot of different things. And especially when you were working with Nod and my nephew.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And Skylar would do things like, oh yeah, I just did this song, you know, and they'd be female vocals in the background. And I'd say to him, that's really nice. Sky, who's the girl in the background? He said, oh, that's the girl that works with me. Didn't know who you were. Then all of a sudden, like, you know, and I had heard you with other people when Rick did a song that you did that he actually wrote for Aretha, and you were the voice to do it. That's when I found out who you were, because he said to me, I need a female vocalist to do this track. And I said, okay. He said, do you have one? And I said to him, sure do. And he said, can I ask you who she is? And I said, I don't know her name, but I can tell you who she is. And he said, who? I said, the girl you got doing this. And he went, no, she's not going to do this. We got her to do this for Aretha, but she won't do this. And I said, why? And he said, because she doesn't do this kind of music. She only does the stuff, you know, the dance music, you know, like what because she was with Sylvester and she was with the Weather Girls. And I said, oh, okay. I said, I'm well aware of their vocals. I said, and I've heard, she must be the one that I heard with my nephew, Sky. So quite naturally, I said, get her number and let me talk to her. And he went, I'll get her number. She's not going to agree to do it. And I called you up when I told him, she said, yeah, it's okay. She'll do it. He went, what? She'll do it? How'd you do that? And I went, listen, I just talked to her. I said, I know for a fact. And it's a well-known fact. Everybody knows, and I don't know why you don't, but everybody knows you're well and capable of doing vocals for whatever kind of music you want. You're the one told me, well, producers really don't trust or think I can do smooth jazz or R&B. And I said to you, really? How did you manage to do tracks with one of my favorite best friends, who was Freddie Hubbard?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I took that picture off of your page of you and Freddie. And you said, hey, Freddie called me up and asked me to come and do vocals on his tracks. So now I'm going to drop it here and give it to you, and you tell me the rest of that story.
Well, here we go back to Harvey Fuqua. Harvey Fuqua believed in me. And we were speaking about him the other day, and Harvey would see things in a person that maybe they didn't see, you know. And I remember doing a song called Me and You, and he said, now you got to really sing this song. I said, Harvey, I do slower songs, you know, better than the fast ones. He said, oh, I believe that. He said, but I'm just saying, you really gonna have to sing this song. I said, okay. But the Freddie Hubbard thing came around. They dropped it in my lap. And it wasn't even together. You know, it was like demos. And I said, how did they come up with these songs? Is it not, you know, great? But when I heard the finished product, then it was great. But they said, we want you to arrange all of this stuff. We want you to do all the vocal arrangements, you know. And I said, oh, wow, that's huge, you know. And so I got to it. I hired, I got this guy named Mo, and Mo Long. His name is Maurice, but we call him Mo. And he was one of Sylvester's background singers when the girls left, when the Two Tons left. And so I got him to do it with me, and Sylvester loved it. He said, "Girl, you really arranged those vocals." I did all the vocal arrangements at the lead, you know, because there was really no lead. I just kind of went with what I was feeling in the track, you know, but there really wasn't any guide for me to go to.
Because that's the way Freddie did stuff. Freddie did stuff that was more or less off the top of his head. It was, let's go in the studio, and he started doing something, and he could point to you or nod to you, and then you just supposed to do whatever you do, the way you felt it should be done. That's just the way Freddie did stuff.
Yeah.
That's what creates that magic.
That magic.
Yeah.
The magic really didn't, the final tracks they sent to me, then I said, oh, okay, this makes sense, you know. And then when he came in, you know, it was on, you know. And
well, in that case, you were the magic.
Oh, well, he even came and played on a couple of tracks that I did on my album, you know, which was incredible, you know. And I said, wow, I got this man playing on one of my tracks, you know, one of my dance tracks, you know. He was very respectful, you know, to me. And we got on great.
Yeah, that's the way Freddie was. But you mentioned somebody, and we'll bring him up now. You mentioned Harvey. Well, people don't know, people that were not really tied to this industry really didn't know exactly how important he was. He was instrumental in bringing you to the forefront. A lot of people do not realize that he also brought Marvin Gaye over to the forefront, over to Motown.
That's right.
And they're very unaware of the fact that a lot of the success that Motown had really had to do with him and Smokey.
Right.
That they were instrumental in a large way in the success of Motown Records.
That's correct. Yes. He was such a charismatic guy, you know, and really soft-spoken, really sweet guy to me, you know, and just so knowledgeable about a lot of things. There's so much history, you know, in his background.
Especially with the fact that he was a member of the Moonglows.
Right.
And people are totally unaware of the fact who the Moonglows are, all the hits that they had, and how successful a group they were. And they were, maybe because you have to be an old head to remember the Moonglows, because they're back there with, you know, groups like the Flamingos and all of those groups back then, you know, the Platters and groups like that. So maybe that's the reason that they're really unaware, but he was very instrumental in a lot of people's careers behind the scenes. He wasn't a person that liked being in front. He liked being incognito.
Right. That's right. You know, when they produced the album on me, the very first album, we got a call from the Circle Star Theater. Was a big theater here in the Bay Area, and it was a theater in the round, and the stage turned, you know, and Bobby Womack was in town, and they said, we need somebody to help fill the room. And I had been working in clubs and stuff, so I had a big following here, you know, just working in the clubs. So I helped to fill the room. Bobby thanked me. And Harvey came up. He dusted off his tuxedo. He said he hadn't been on stage in 20 years. So he dusted his tuxedo off and conducted the band because I was fresh. I mean, my album was fresh. I lost my voice in about 2 days. And in 4 days, I was going to open for Bobby Womack. I said, what am I going to do? Sing a cappella? I don't even have a band. So the Whispers sister band, Collage, I had seen them once and I said, and Harvey said, that's the band, that's the kind of band you need behind you. We called them, they were already booked. And they said, oh, Jennie, we would love to, but we're already booked. They canceled whatever they were doing, they canceled it just to play at the Circle Star. It was a big deal, you know. And they asked me if I would give them, you know, some time to, you know, play their music. And I said, sure, you know, I'll give you 20 minutes to play your music and I'll take the rest. And I had 18 people on stage.
In entourage?
Entourage, I mean, singers, 4 or 5 singers. Collage had it was kind of a big group, you know, they were tough. They learned my music in a day. This is how bad these guys were. And they had charts for me. I lost my voice, couldn't sing, couldn't talk, but I got it like the day before. I came back the day before, you know, the performance. And it was just like the record. They played every single thing just like the record. So Harvey knew I needed help. So he got up there and conducted the band. It was awesome though. It was really, really awesome.
Well, you lost your voice. Did you do what you told me to do when I lost mine?
I did everything and beyond that and everything else, you know, just quiet.
Wait. What did she tell you to do when you lost yours?
She told me to, first of all, stop projecting my voice and talk like I was in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And I also told Jennie that I had gone to one of my old things when I used to sing, which was to put together Honey and Lemon, which, you know, I used to bring here and before we started the thing, squirted down my throat.
Right.
And she told me to stop talking so darn much.
You have to be quiet, you know. Well, when you're doing a show, when I'm getting ready to do a show, I would complete silence. I don't talk to anybody, not even on the phone, because then you're projecting all the time. And I get very nervous before a show. So if I'm talking too much, then I won't be able to even sing. You forget it, you know. So because of the nerves, you know, and then you get cotton, what they call cotton mouth, you know. Yeah. So you just drizzle a little honey down that throat, you know, before you sing, and just total quiet, you know.
It was funny because you told me those things to do, and Mr. Speedo Cadillac back here, he's like, what you need to do is you need to stop trying that sexy thing, trying to talk like Barry White. I wasn't trying to talk like Barry White. I was trying to talk.
Wait, Jennie. We did a show recently with who's last on the show?
Danny.
Yeah, no, just last week.
Last week was Danny. Before him was Cliff.
Anyways, when he talks to the guys, he talk all loud, all hard. But whenever a woman come on the screen, there he goes this. He starts talking. Yeah.
That's not true, because we've only had one woman on the show. You're the second woman we've had.
Okay.
The other one that we had was Savon Bass. Okay, so where was the last show that I talked?
That's what I'm saying. The last show, his voice, he was projecting when he talks to men.
He gets soft. Huh?
He tries to project when he talks to men.
Because I was getting my voice back.
So Jeannie,
Yeah,
what's been happening? What are you doing? What are you doing lately? What's going on?
well, what's going on now is in the morning, I'm getting ready to go to Florida to do a show. And I'm working on a huge project, and I can't say who the artist's name is right now, but it's an artist that that is deceased now. And so when this project comes out, I just really feel that it's going to be major. And so what I had to do, since they're deceased now, I had to go in and shadow every note and every lyric to make it, solid.
Okay,
Now I've actually done that with Aretha, because Narda didn't want to, travel, or she wouldn't travel, and he didn't want to fly there just to do that short thing. So I've shadowed Celine Dion, and where they just put me right with her, because now they don't want to travel to just for her to just do a couple of notes and stuff. And so this was an undertaking. Then they allowed me to arrange here again. I got the chance to arrange all the background and hire the singers that I wanted to bring in to sing. And two of the singers, the girl is named Sakai Smith, a wonderful young lady that sings with Train. Train has two Black women that sing with them. And one is Nikita Germain, and the other girl is Sakai Smith, who is a phenomenal, both of them are great singers. But I brought her in because she's a powerhouse soprano,
Oh, okay.
And I brought in Larry Batiste, and he's well known with the Grammys. And he was the producer for the telecast for the Grammys. And he works with the Grammys very close. As he and I have worked together with Skylar for years, So I know the people that could do the job, and if I've arranged it, I sent them the music, they looked at it, and that was it. They said, so I knew that when they came in, all they had to do was do it line by line, just sing it to them, or they listened to it, nailed it. Very seldom did I say, do it again, I mean, and the tracks came out. In fact, the producer called me today. He said, wow, Jeannie, wow, the vocals are, no wonder you hired these people. They sound great. So the other people we're going to hire are in Los Angeles. So we're hiring two of the background singers that sang with this individual, this artist, and they're going to do their job in LA, because it's more or less like a choir kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of remote recording going on now.
Yeah.
I would say almost 50-70% of the recording right now is remote.
Right. Well, I was telling Don that I never stopped working during the pandemic. During the shutdown, I call it pandemic, and it got so used to saying it now, that has become a part of me. So I've worked this whole time because people, when it shut down, they gave them time to, put out product and stuff. So, I've been called in, Jesse James and several people in the Bay Area, that are either people that are away, that are not here in the Bay Area, will send the tracks here. I lay down, cut, and then send it back to them. So it's been absolutely wonderful. So, because it kept me working, not only kept me working, but busy, and not just stuck in the house.
Yeah, we did a show a couple of weeks ago with saxophonist Art Sherrard, and that was the same thing that he was saying. We were laughing because how much material was done during the lockdown. I mean, I was laughing. I was telling Dawn, I got like about 17 songs that I didn't even know I had did, over over the last year, it's because I didn't have anything to do. So I was just sitting down and, doing what I do and just move on, So like I got a whole new project. And that's the same thing Art was saying, how how much new material, because I think he was saying he's waiting, what, to 22?
Said he's going to wait till 22.
Yeah,
to
to release his
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect, you know. And I have some things in the works that I did also. I have 2 songs that are out now, but one song, the producer is from Brazil, and he said he's gonna wait, you know, because he wants to do a video and that kind of thing. So he's gonna wait a few months before he puts it out. So I'm working with some people over in England that want that this guy and I, this producer and I, are supposed to do some writing together. So I just haven't felt like I've been too busy to just settle down and write anything, you know.
Yeah.
Except this one song that's coming out, you know.
Now you have a massive, and I will say massive audience over in Europe.
Yeah.
You do you got producers coming from Europe over here to talk to you about doing music for over there.
Yeah. They don't really, the fans over there don't really like the music that I've done in the last maybe 10 years. You know, I won't say everybody, but they really appreciate my old music, you know, your basic R&B and that kind of thing. And dance music, but it's a different kind of dance, you know. They don't really care for the tribal thing that I've done. They like more disco-ish kind of music, you know. So that's what I'm going to be doing, kind of more mainstream, you know, dance music, more geared radio kind of thing.
And that's still big over there with them.
Yeah. But like I said, they really appreciate Black artists over there. And if artists really, it's real sad to say that here that they throw artists away.
So we were talking about your audience. Now,
Yeah.
you have one of the, I hope I'm saying this correctly because I don't want to offend anybody by being
Right.
alphabetical.
Right.
Okay. But you have the entire LGBTQ community behind you.
Yeah, it's just been a blessing, you know, to have the community, you know, support you, you know, like they have. And they are very loyal, you know, fans, and will do most anything for you. If anybody thinks any other thing, then you're completely wrong, because they have been so behind myself, and they call them the divas, the dance divas.
Yeah, you, Donna
Summers,
yeah.
and Martha Wash, and
Stephanie,
Zora.
I mean, you guys, that group has given you guys a support base like no other artist or group of artists has that type of support base.
And let me tell you, they put you up well. My husband went with me and he said, "You live like this?" I said, "I better live like this." You know, as well as I live, or better, you know. And it's amazing, you know, they just take such great care of you, you know, and the support is amazing. You know, they get behind you with as much as they can, you know, and they love you. And I love them. And I really appreciate the support that they've given me. When I met my husband, he said, my brother has your album. And the first thing I said, "Is he gay?"
What was his answer?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, okay, like I lived in Miami for a bunch of years, and Rain and Man. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like the national anthem, huh?
Oh man, when that song comes on, get out the way, because you'll find out who everybody is, and they're
Right.
ready to throw down, and the party's really getting ready to go all the way 70s.
That's right.
Well, there's a name you got to throw into that group that's being left out. So we got to bring his name in.
Oh, Sylvester.
Damn right.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't leave Sylvester
Sylvester.
out.
Sylvester, I'm telling you, it's like I was watching, this has nothing to do, but it's kind of, I'm trying to bring this in. I was watching the people that on the Have and the Have-Nots with Tyler Perry. But there's a couple of artists or actors that were in some of his movies and plays and things that are now on mainstream television. And I said, this is what Sylvester did for us. You know,
yeah, because Sylvester opened that door.
Opened the door for us. And I tell people, I said, I was a mainstream artist doing R&B and that kind of thing. And dance music was thrown in my lap. And an audience was LB, the gay community was thrown in my lap also. And I said, I wasn't gonna turn my back on that, you know? So I ran with it.
Yeah, that was that in itself. I mean, I had to bring that up because for your genre of music, the LGBTQ community has, for artists, for a musician, they've made you guys live. They rose pedaled that situation for you guys in comparison to almost everybody else who came through that period.
Right.
I mean, like most of the people who came through that period, a lot of their fans, they still like them, but they don't follow them.
Right. That's right.
You know? They like them at home.
They like them at home.
yeah. You know, but like you guys' songs are like you said, they're like anthems, you know.
Yeah. And everybody knows those songs, you know. Disco Heat, when Martha comes to town, or sometimes she'll fly us in to do a Sylvester tribute, and we sing, you know, Dance Disco Heat, Mighty Real, and Keep Dancing.
That Mighty Real. Ooh wee.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. And you know, being with him was like one of the greatest things that I feel like I ever did, to be with Harvey Fuqua, you know, the gentle giant, you know, that he was. I was talking to Louis Small, who Harvey hired him to come out here and produce Sylvester, myself, and the girls, you know, and his mind is just like, I said, do you remember this song? And he said, yeah, it goes dibby dibby that boop. I said, oh, okay. Remember that part that goes like that? I said, you remember that? He said, yeah. He said, a guy wrote the strings, you know, for that part. And I said, this guy from New York. And he said, Harvey told him he was spending too much money because he was going back to New York to get these artists to, you know, these people to play on Sylvester stuff. And he said, for the girls, for the Weather Girls, or for the Two Tons, when their stuff came out, this guy was producing strings and all that kind of stuff. And for me, it was the greatest joy on my album was to see the strings in the room playing my song. I always wanted that. I always wanted to have strings behind my voice singing a beautiful ballad or something like that. And Harvey, he said, we're gonna bring some real strings. You know, ain't nobody gonna be playing on the keyboard. We don't have real string.
That's so crazy.
Oh my God, it was, oh my God.
That was one of the things that we discussed with Art, the string arrangements that were made available behind such project. And Don was saying that people used to say that he sounded like a white boy because he was always using strings. And I was telling him, I said, well, back in the day, most black bands, unless you got a major deal, couldn't afford strings. Most black situations was a rhythm section with a couple of horns.
Right.
You know,
right.
The only strings you had was a guitar player and a bass player.
And a bass and guitar, right?
That was it. You get 12 strings. That's it. You know? But yeah, you guys' music was, but because of the string arrangements and stuff was so epic.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I've watched them play the songs and it just filled my heart. You know, I wanted to cry because, you know, this was my dream to, you know, have these strings behind me. And I know the guy that did the string arrangement, you know, I'm friends with him. And every time I see him, I said, you know what, you're so bad. Thank you so much. He said, Jeannie, that was the joy of his life to be able to come and play, you know, behind me, you know, my first album, you know.
So, what are we getting ready to play of yours, Jeannie? What are we getting ready to play?
I don't have a clue.
Don, we don't know we're going to play?
Yeah, I do. I always do. What we're going to play is a song that I tried to recruit Jeannie and my buddy Rick to actually put this song out. And the funny thing is, it's the album cover. Why it's an album cover, I have no idea. But the actual cover for the single, when it was released, was actually a train track. And the song is "This My Last Stop for Love."
TC, take it away, man. Do your thing, player.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new single by Jennie Tracy, "Is This My Last Stop for Love?" right here on Inside the Music.
Is this really my last stop for love? When we first met, I felt so strange. The look in your eyes made my heart come alive. Yeah, it's been so long since I felt this way. Tell me, baby, is this really my last stop for love? After all that I've been through, my life has changed since I've been with you. You removed my strife and pain, renewed my mind, and I feel so alive again. Tell me, is this the last stop for love? I wanna know, baby. Tell me, baby. Is this my last stop for love? Ooh, yeah. Like a sweet little girl playing with a new toy, wrapped in your arms, and I feel with joy. Hold me tight and don't be coy. Don't you ever let me go. I want the whole world to know. After all, said and done, I know that you're the only one for me. You bring me joy and happiness. Because of you, I want to give my very best. Tell me, baby. Is this my last stop for love? Tell me, baby. Is this my last stop for love? I wanna know, baby. I've been down this road before, and I don't wanna hurt no more. No. Tell me, baby. Is this my last stop for love? Is this really my last stop for love? I need to know right now. You drive me wild. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, you do, yeah, you do, yeah, you do. Hey, yeah. After all that I've been through, my life has changed since I've been with you. Oh, you removed my strife and all my pain. You renewed my mind, and I feel so alive. Tell me, baby, is this my last stop for love? Tell me. I travel east, I travel west, but baby, you're the very best. You're the best. No more worry and no more pain. Because of you, my life will never, never, never be the same. No, no, baby, is this my last stop for love? My last stop for love. Tell me, is this my last stop for love? Won't you tell me? Oh, tell me.
Now that we're back and we've heard that song, and believe me, it's the song that I was asked if I knew a female vocalist that I could give it to do. And that was my introduction to Jennie, because I said, sure, just give me her phone number, and I was told, no, she's not going to do it. You can tell by the vocals in this song. First of all, it's an excellently written song, and the vocals and the talent from the person doing it are all on display. So just listening to that, you can understand why she is a very iconic individual in the Bay Area and is a person redeemed all over Europe for her sound. So you've got that. So, but now I'm going to jump into something that Jennie doesn't go out of her way to let people know. Of course, I know.
Dun, dun, dun.
And since everybody's like, well, come up with something special. Well, here it is. Jennie is somebody that has a lot to do with an old school commercial. That commercial was the California Raisins.
Okay.
Oh my.
There needs to be some explanation there.
Give them the explanation, Jennie, about California
Raisins. Oh gosh. Two producers in the Bay Area that were friends with Narda Michael Walden. And I've always been the kind of person, if I wanted to do something, I'll just say, I love doing background, would you call me? Here's my number. So Jeffrey Cohen called me in for California Raisins, and myself and two other young ladies, Vicki Randall and Kitty Beethoven and myself. And it was the Ray Charles raisin. And we did the commercial.
You were a raisinette?
I was a raisinette. And I actually have some little raisins in my etagere in my living room. And somebody gave them to me because they knew that I was a raisinette at one time.
Wow. Okay. That is something for the books.
I actually did 3 or 4. One, I went to the producer and Jeffrey, and I said, Jeffrey, I have this idea for a Gladys Knight type of raisin. And he says, oh, well, how would that go? I said, Shadooyah, I heard it through the grapevine. Raised in the California sunshine. I heard it. He said, well, what we gonna do if they pick Gladys? I said, just pay me for the idea. So what happened was they called me to do it. And a friend of mine named Annie Stockton, and she and I did the background. and I did the lead on it.
Jeannie, guess what?
What?
I have that 40-second video of Ray Charles and the Raisinets doing that California Sunshine.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna cut away. We'll be right back after this.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
Hey, KC, as a matter of fact, we do have that commercial. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this special surprise with Jennie Tracy and Mr. Ray Charles.
Great, Ray. That's a wrap.
Huh? Oh, I heard it through the grapevine. Rain in the California sunshine. Through the grapevine. Yeah, I heard it through the grapevine. That's sweet.
Okay, that was for the archives. That was for the archives. I remember when that commercial came out on TV.
It was great.
That
it
was
was
one
really
of the biggest
great.
things that was out during that period of time.
That's true.
The
Iconic.
California Raisins.
And you know what? You actually know that they made little California raisins out of plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had 5 of them. I now have 1.
I have 3.
I
Which
hated
one are you? Which one are you?
I don't have the raisinette. She has the
that's
raisinette.
what I'm talking about. Which raisinette are you?
I'm the one with the long eyelashes in the middle. I sang in the middle.
I had 5 of them. I only have 1 now because I love those things so much that I had them out. And kids would come to my house and take them. And then when you take them back, the kids would start to cry. And the mother would say, "Where did you get them?" And I said, "You can't get these things anymore."
Right. You can't.
You know, if you try to get them, somebody may sell it to you. If you go on Amazon or something, you're going to pay a hefty price for it. There's also a raisin video where they do all these songs. And there's a thing of how the Raisinets became popular.
How it became popular, right.
And they do the songs from Motown with Stevie Wonder's voice and everything.
Right.
All that stuff costs you a lot of money. So now I'm left with 1 California
raisin. 1 California raisin.
1. And I don't care what kid comes to my house, even my grandkids. Can I? No.
I did so many commercials, the Mazda, you know, I did a hibachi and a grill. I got one with the grill and a hibachi, and I was the hibachi, you know. And I did, several commercials. I remember once I had like 9 running at one time, you know. But I was always the kind of person to, and still am, to grab other people, because for me to say, you know, I'm the only Black doing this, you know, it's not a wonderful thing, you know. So I think for me, I always wanted to bring somebody else into it, you know. And I remember doing a Alamo rental car commercial, and they called me, and I called just about everybody I knew in Oakland that sang, and they were crazy, because that was one of the best kept secrets in the business, is the commercials, and how, you know, and people found out how much money you can make, you know, and those checks would be coming. You get a bunch of them at one time every day. And the kids were going crazy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But like I said, I don't think it's a wonderful thing. It's enough room for everybody, you know. But for a long time, we didn't know about that and how to get, you know, in it. But just because there's somebody there that likes what you do, was willing to bring me into it. And I have to give credit to this little friend of mine named Annie Stockton. And she was a little white girl that could sing her face off. And this guy came to me, he says, "You need to meet Annie Stockton." And I said, "Oh, really?" do you know her? I said, no, I don't know her. He said, well, I'm gonna get you two together. And he just made up a commercial. And it wasn't a national commercial, it was like a local commercial, brought us together, and we sounded great together. And I looked at her and I said, wow, we sound really good together. She said, yeah. I said, can you get me in? She said, yeah, I'll get you in. She said, if you get me in, she said, you have the other stuff locked down, like singing behind Whitney and doing the backgrounds behind the artist. She said, if you get me in there, I'll get you, in the commercial thing. And she did. And I remember her leaving town. She just left to move to LA. She left me all of her work.
Wow.
And the funny thing about it is that everybody liked my work, So it was hard for her to get back in because and I would say, hire Annie, come on, let's get Annie. No, we like what you do. Oh no, don't do that,
Hey.
But I have to credit her for getting me started in that commercial business. And I loved it. I never seen nobody go in for 10 minutes and you just rack up,
So you still doing jingles?
Not as much, not as much anymore. Because those guys, all the guys, it's funny, they left the business and stuff. Yeah. And I think the reason why they said they left is because so many people we were getting paid to do the demos, right?
Yeah.
And they said so many people start coming in just doing free demos and stuff. So they didn't want to compete with that. So they just left the business. They made a lot of money though. So,
Well, I'm still waiting for some things from you.
What's that?
The things that you did for voiceovers.
Oh, I thought I sent that to you.
No, you said you were going to send it to me, but you didn't do it.
Were they commercials?
No, they were, I think, a kids program that you did.
Oh, the children's program for
Yeah.
PBS. Yeah, Kangarati.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kangarati. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
I have
played
to,
a little girl snake.
yeah,
named
because I
Bam
have
too.
to send them over to my person over there at the company
Okay.
for the.
Just remind me, please.
Yes, I'll send you a note, but you can do it when you come back because right now.
Okay.
you
Yeah.
have
Do it.
to
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. I'll
of
do it
town.
when I come back.
Well, Jeannie,
Yeah, just
earlier
like-
we were talking about some of the many artists that you shadow vocals for. First of all, before you go down the list of who you shadow vocals for, explain exactly what that is, because a lot of young people don't know what that means.
It just means that when a person is singing, you sing right with them, but you're not over singing. You're singing kind of underneath them. And what I did with this artist that I'm working with now is I sang, because we have the same resonance in our voice. I just sang right with her note for note. And so a lot of times with like Narda would ask me to shadow Aretha. Maybe she would sing one line. He maybe wanted me to harmonize with that line, or either just sing it right with it, just for the support. And that's what you're doing, is supporting the artist. You're not just singing. They don't really hear you because they're gonna mix it so that it sounds like one voice.
We'll
So
see.
that's what that means.
As a producer, that's what we do in the studios oftentimes with the lead vocal. Anyways, you have the lead vocalist do a double, and you just drop that down there for that bottom and that support. The same thing that happens on live stage. But I've seen chicks shadow, and I've seen the lead singer catch a little phlegm, move the mic and never miss a note.
Right.
People, she lip syncing though. She wasn't lip syncing.
No.
Homegirl got her back.
Homegirl back there had her back.
Yeah.
There was an artist once that was kind of tone deaf, and my friend Melissa used to go when they would travel. That's what my friend Melissa used to do. She would actually be doing the singing. And what was that group? New Kids on the Block?
Yeah.
Skylar was shadowing them.
Yeah.
And then people found out about it and they started kind of boycotting it, and they had to get a couple guys in there that could really sing. And I think it was on one of those talk shows, night shows, that they made them come and actually sing,
Yeah.
And
they didn't sound that good.
He is Adora. It was another one. Okay.
Yeah.
Am I calling them out now?
Yeah, you call them, but back then, and actually, until Milli Vanilli got busted, that was a standard procedure.
I didn't know that.
A lot of producers would bring individuals into the studio to play and sing for the artist that was getting ready to hit the road. It was a period where they were calling them production groups. You had a bunch of cats that were really good in the studio that didn't work the stage or didn't have a stage look.
Right.
You go in the studio and put the music together, put everything together, and then you go find 5 guys and you put them in the woodshed.
Or 2 guys, like Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, like Milli Vanilli, put them in the woodshed.
Unfortunately, those 2 boys actually had talent and could sing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just that, in fact, the 2 guys that actually wrote that, because the 2 guys that actually wrote that knew that they were 59 and 53. They were too darn old to go out on stage and do that crap. So they actually knew that because they were well versed in the music business, and they went out and looked for 2 guys that they felt had the look and would be able to draw an audience in.
International audience.
But those 2 boys could sing, but they caught so much hell over the
they
fact
sure
that
did.
it took place. And of course, the record company acted like they didn't know a darn thing about it.
Of course they did. Of course they did. Yeah. Well, now I want to make this clear. The shadowing I did for the other singers like Celine and Aretha, of course we know how bad Aretha, she didn't need. The only reason why they had me shadow is because they needed to thicken something or support, like that. But it was not because they couldn't sing, because that Celine could sing her face off, and Aretha was the queen. So you don't get to be the queen because you can't sing.
Well, I tell you something else. Your girl knows exactly about that when we talk about Martha.
I was going to mention Martha too. I mean, they had that French girl, couldn't speak English.
From France, Black Box.
Lip syncing, Black Box.
Black Box.
Lips.
Yeah, singing a song in English. The girl couldn't talk a word of English. Had it interpreted. And they stuck her butt on Soul Train.
Right.
She sings the song. She wasn't doing nothing but lip syncing, and she was dark skinned, beautiful body, wonderful looking girl. And Don Cornelius said to her, "How did you learn this song?" She looked at her interpreter. I don't know what he's saying. And the guy's telling her in French what he said.
Right.
Of course, he comes back and says to Don Cornelius, she said that they did this song and they actually played it for her in English, and she learned how to sing the song from that, like what you would do. When you were at Nod and Skylar. So that's how she supposedly learned that song. She didn't learn that song. Girl couldn't sing a lick.
Right.
And that's actually how Martha got the thing from the record label to do It's Raining Men. That was their payoff because she took them to court.
Yeah. She wasn't though. Until, we got on her and said, "Girl, don't let the people do that," And I said, "How could you do that?" And she thought about it. Okay, and the rest is history.
Yeah, because when they went to court, the judge said, "No, you don't. You're not doing any more money. You signed the contract. You will work for hire. You got paid for what you did. whatever extra money that song made that you were unaware that it would make is not your money, and they don't owe you another dollar. But she made such a stink, they said, well, let's just, do an album and let her do
Right.
that and get out of the way, and she won't have anything else to say.
Right. And the guy that was on, what was that show? He was one of the writers on that. Paul Jabara, and the other guy that was on Johnny Carson. I think it was Johnny Carson's show.
Yeah, it was.
Was it Johnny Carson? Yeah. Paul, his name is Paul too. The bald head guy.
Schaefer.
Who?
Wasn't it Paul Schaefer, the keyboard player?
Paul Schaefer.
Yeah.
Paul Schaefer. Yeah. They wrote that. And Barbara Streisand and Barbara Streisand and somebody else turned the song down. And Izora used to say, we'd like to thank them all.
Yeah, I know she did.
Uh-huh.
Man, this has really been great.
Thank you. It has been. It's been, and then you touched upon some topics that most people don't ever ask me about, about Harvey and, the raisins and that kind of thing.
Well, he knows your background. He's all up in your business.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
So we really look forward to bringing you back on the show because there's so much more to talk about. An hour always goes by so fast.
Yeah.
And I'm blatantly, I guess the viewers are going to get sick of this, or they're going to be waiting for the project.
Yeah.
But I'm having the opportunity to talk with individuals that I have never had the opportunity to talk with before.
Okay.
And since I've been working with Dawn, yeah, right. Since I've been working with Dawn, we got this, I'm working on this new stuff. I'm getting ready to solicit all of y'all. Everybody we bring on the show. I'm gonna try to solicit all y'all. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but there's so much iconic talent. And we discuss this all the time, that's not getting the work and the airplay and the attention that they should be getting here in the United States like they should.
Oh God, don't even talk about it. It's crazy. They play the same brain dead stuff all the time. And it's just, it's crazy. There's so many people, talented people that don't even get the chance to be on radio anymore,
Yeah, well, we got some plans, we got some plans. Vegas is a big place, and Vegas got a lot of places to go make noise, So we got some plans for the future. So
okay,
what happens with Inside the Music, but Jennie, for me, this has been a real pleasure and an honor.
It's been wonderful. Thank you for asking me on, and touching up on some subjects that I don't get a chance to expound on,
Well, we're gonna ask some personal questions next time, shoe size and stuff like that.
Okay, I got lots of shoes, but I walk barefoot in the house.
Well, believe it or not, I can totally relate.
Yeah, lots of shoes.
I can totally relate.
Okay. He has a lot of shoes?
No, I don't wear shoes. I took my shoes off.
Okay.
The ground is just too hot in Vegas for me to be outside without them.
Okay.
But we have enjoyed being able to talk to you. As always, I always get a kick out of talking with you. Like I said, you and I talk and people wonder what the hell is going on. But it is what it is. We have so much to talk about. Is when we start, we always just find subject to talk about. So
right.
It's always a pleasure. I'm going to let you go and get ready because you got to get out of town.
Yeah.
and your husband is calling back, and I don't want to be
About
still.
2.5
You still
minutes.
talking to him? You said a half hour, so we're gonna let you go.
No,
but
he's
you
not
have
like
an
that
open
at all.
invitation, baby, to come back whenever you want.
Okay, well, I'll be back. Thank you so much.
All right, Jenny. TC, take
All
it
right.
away, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, thank you for tuning in for another episode of Inside the Music. We'd like to thank Miss Jennie Tracy for joining us this go round. Listen, as always, Inside the Music is brought to you by Movem Radio.com, Source 3 Entertainment, Studio 204, Stormy Weathers Entertainment, and Source 3 Entertainment. And this week's special shout out again goes to Total Groove Studios and Big Man Entertainment, where we think big and we live big, for allowing me in that space this week. Holla at your big homie and holla at the team, because we always around.